Good morning. My name is Patrick Searle. I serve under Andrew Forgione as the Vice President of University Affairs, and it is an honor today to be able to introduce him to you. In 1965, the University Students' Council was formed under a vision, an idea, of students serving students. Today, as part of a time-honored tradition, the President of the University Students' Council makes an address to inform you, the stakeholders, about what really is the University Students' Council today. Harold R. McCalladon once said, "Do not follow where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." So it is with that I have the honor to introduce to you today the 47th President of the University Students' Council, Andrew Forgione.
To enhance the educational experience and quality of life for all undergraduates at the University of Western Ontario. Good morning, students, staff, faculty, and administration. I stand before you a very different person from who I was when I took office over a year ago. The University Students' Council is also a very different organization from when my vice presidents and I were elected. We had a strong vision for where we wanted the USC to travel in a year and how we wanted to interact with students during our term. My vision when running for office was one based on empowering students and creating a more transparent and relatable student government. We have worked incredibly hard to diversify our outreach and target not only as many students as possible, but interact with them in as meaningful a way as possible. This means small upgrades to increase their quality of life. It means responding to student issues in a timely manner and in a transparent way. It means the implementation of student-driven ideas and always working to improve the student experience at Canada's best university. It's been quite a year. One that's been challenging, filled with unexpected events, and one that has pushed me to the limits I never knew I could be pushed to. But also one that taught me a very valuable lesson: to never doubt that a small group of committed individuals, when focused, united, and passionate about our cause, can change this world that we call Western U. At this point, it is absolutely imperative for me to give credit where credit is due. My executive have been my backbone all year, and I could not have asked for a better team to stand behind me throughout the thick and thin, and I thank them for that. Teamwork is essential to success at the USC. So Nicole, Patrick, Jennifer, Elliot, and Marissa, thank you. It is because of you that I still have hair on my head and a social life outside of these walls. You have all served the students with the utmost drive and honesty and clarity. Let me start the bulk of this seemingly long speech with a brief story, which I feel is indicative of the type of year that we had here at Western. At the beginning of September, a student contacted me for a meeting about the USC's external research retreat that we conducted this summer, where we traveled to the eastern seaboard of the United States. The student entered my office with a post-it note notched with 10 questions. At the end of our conversation, the student expressed gratitude for our executive's openness and willingness to discuss both the legitimacy and value of our external retreat. They left satisfied, and this will forever reaffirm my own personal belief in the importance of an open-door policy with our students and the commitment to transparency each member of the executive displayed this year. In an environment where every dollar we spend comes from the students that we serve, and with a mission to improve their experience in any way that we can, our commitment to transparency and openness, no matter the consequences, is indicative of the year that we have shared together. Let me begin this speech off with a strategic plan. During transitioning to this position, we realized that our visionary document, Vision to Lead, is now coming to the end of its relevancy. We immediately embarked on a new vision, one set on receiving student feedback and directly canvassing them to hear exactly what they want or didn't want from the USC. This document took months to develop and consult over 11,000 students during its formation. This is the largest number of students giving feedback that Western, not just the USC, has ever seen. We are unbelievably proud of our communications efforts this year, and this document, which still hasn't been named yet, unfortunately, has 5 amazing principles. I'll just quickly read the principles to you guys. So we are a voice. We are grounded in our mission. We are a student-supportive organization. We are stewards of democracy. We seek constructive change, and we are socially responsible. This document and these student-centered values will guide the USC forward for the next 4 to 5 years. The next section I would like to discuss with you guys is the financial situation of the USC. During my campaign, I promised financial enhancements that would ensure fiscal transparency and sustainability for the USC, while empowering the students to use our operations as a service. We delivered on this promise with the following initiatives. When student groups approached the USC to run events, we ensured that no venue fee was charged and only minimal technical requirements were built out. Student seating has been an issue on campus for quite some time now, so we decided to take the charge and convert the unused, unprofitable area beside the spoke. If you just look out those windows, you can probably see it. We wanted to convert it to seating area with microwaves and TV monitors. The directive was given by council, and to date, we have seen the space used by thousands of students. Our food operations had a fantastic year, both in business and in communications to students. I don't know what was going on out there, but students really loved their CLTs this year. The Wave and Spoke substantially improved their social media presence and allowed students to vote on different features each month. By year end, the Spoke Wave surpassed their financial targets and exceeded any expectation of a break-even bottom line. We renovated the Spoke Coffee Bar after years of long lines and student disappointment. Today, we stand with the best coffee bar on campus ever. In addition to these renovations, we implemented debit, both in the Spoke as well as the Spoke Cafe, to complement the meal plan, therefore making our services more accessible to our students. This year, the USC also had the opportunity to develop a realistic budget that showed a positive bottom line. In alignment with the strategic vision of the USC, we were able to develop a student-driven budget by moving the flexibility into the hands of student leaders to successfully achieve a better student experience for our Western community as a whole. This is the most realistically balanced and flexible budget that the USC has ever seen. For 11 years, the USC was unable to successfully implement a dental plan. That has changed in the 2012 and 2013 academic year, adding yet another student service. Along with the dental plan referendum, we developed a fee increase that sustained the current healthcare coverage, an increase that has been needed for years. Asking questions and giving students the opportunity to respond to them were central to the ideals of the USC during our tenure. We knew that the health plan was at a stage where it was financially neglected for far too long, and this gave us an ultimatum. Do we decrease the coverage of the health plan, or do we ask students what they want and increase the fee to maintain the service levels? Students responded, and we gave them the opportunity to decide for themselves. This left us with an opt-outable health plan and dental plan so that students are even more covered for next year. I know if there's any dentists in the crowd, they'll be super happy with this new service. When we came into office, we saw a need for capital upgrades, yet a lack of funding for all of our priorities. This led to the newly developed 10-year capital plan, which will be implemented starting June 1st of this year. This plan has been needed for many years as maintenance and enhancements have not been made or properly executed. It allows the USC to be proactive in achieving all necessary renovations and improvements for many years to come. This year, also, I had the pleasure of initiating, alongside with the presidents of the affiliate campuses student governments, an affiliate memorandum of understanding. I had a joke, but my king sort Pat over here, he told me not to say it because it's not that funny. But I always like poking jokes. Incorporated within this document are principles of collaboration and mission statements of all participating bodies, as well as a new fee structure that allows affiliate students to pay proportionate fees to the University Student Council. Through the revitalization of the President's Caucus on Affiliate Issues, students on campus studying at Huron-Brush and King's are better represented than years before. A partnership was created to better student advocacy for the affiliates through this document, allowing for better representation institutionally, municipally, and provincially. A new business model has been developed for Imprint to be altered into more of a student-focused service. This includes, but is not limited to, the elimination of the RIP fee, the postal patrol fee in current year, and next year we can see decreases in the cost of black, white, and color printing. Each year, the USC also invests approximately $3 million. This is also known as our Cayman Island cash cow, or our off-seas account. I'm just kidding, by the way. That was a funny joke. This year, the decision was made to move all funds from CIBC Wood Gundy to TD Investments. This allowed the USC to develop a better perspective on the financial return to expect and be budgeted for within miscellaneous revenue, a first in a long time. Through the implementation of new financial policies procedures, the USC has created more internal accountability and transparency. All financial documents are now online, along with better reporting and tracking systems to allow for better understandings of where student money is being allocated. Now I'd like to move on to the additional services that we have provided to students this year. We want students to have what they need when they need it. We are consistently looking to have new ways that we can service our students. And I'm proud to say that the USC now offers a number of services to better reflect the faith, culture, and diversity of our students. We started the year off strong with the implementation of the Mustang Express. Through the leadership of President Tithcott last year and the participation of thousands of students in the referendum, we were able to create Western's first and only late-night shuttle bus service. This process wasn't the easiest. We lobbied the City of London to suspend specific bylaws and had to create many internal policies to govern the program, not to mention promoting it. The program is a huge success, and students were enjoying the benefit of having safe, reliable transport home from the downtown core. We embraced our inner Mustang and had the privilege of renaming our newly renovated space the Mustang Lounge we currently sit in. As an organization and as an executive, the construction project of the space proved our first big challenge of the year. Despite our major construction delays and potential cost overruns, we were able to rise above the adversity and provide a space that is today used proudly by many Mustangs daily.
First ever.
Constructed within the Mustang Lounge is a special, brand new multi-phase space, which is directly above us. It was added onto the list of services that the USC provides to its students. We then embraced the challenge of creating policies that were comprehensive and consulted all faith communities on our campus. The process was a trial period to see usage rates, and ultimately the space was opened up to a broader range of events and to students. I look forward to seeing where the USC guides this space in coming years. I do have the faith that through our strategic plan, we are able to connect and inform our students throughout the process. Since the establishment of the Student Support Services Center, and due largely to the effort of our student coordinators, the support services have grown largely and to a large component of our student programming efforts. This year has been largely defined by three core goals: increasing mental health efforts, increasing LGBT advocacy efforts, and increasing outreach of services to a greater number of students, including affiliate and professional students. We've increased our mental health efforts this year in multiple ways. Firstly, we've initiated a mental health focus group with Student Health Services, the Student Development Center, and Housing to discuss student priorities. We've also integrated many of this year's initiatives, including a peer support phone line and an undergraduate mental health guidance into new student service, the Health and Wellness Support Service, which will work to enhance the health and wellness of undergraduate students through mental health services and awareness. As a student council, we began to advocate more for our LGBT students. By bringing Lieutenant Dan Choi, who was dismissed by the US military for being openly gay, to speak at orientation week, our first year class experiences how inclusive we yearn our community to be. We lobbied strongly with administration for an increased number of gender-neutral washrooms and for an increased visibility for those that currently exist. We are working to publish the list of those 50 washrooms so that our students are made aware of what's available to them currently. Through the hiring of the support services manager, these services were able to accomplish much more than through their tenure than is normally possible. The manager assisted all the coordinators and was constantly in the space to answer questions and direct students to their proper communication avenues. I have faith that this will continue as the USC and students will be proud to call the space their home away from home. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, we have restructured the support services to represent 8 strong support groups. This new structure will help students better understand what the USC offers. It will also provide all of our educational and awareness campaigns with more resources and physical support in accomplishing their mandates by finding a place for each to belong within our current support services. Next up, I'd like to share with you the progress we've had with diverse student programming on our campus. From reggae to poetry, we brought it all this year, and I want to share with you guys. It was part of my vision when running for this office to increase the amount of diverse events on this campus as a factor in empowering these students. Through our ability as the board of directors, we were able to approve capital purchases that upgraded the sound system in both the Wave and Spoke and allowed more versatility and lower rental costs for our students. Out of the 11,000 students that were surveyed, we heard that students wanted diverse program offering. While maintaining a view to a fair balance between the development programs we offer and entertainment, we successfully held, and this isn't all of them, but this is the highlighted ones, the Keys and Crates, Cardinal Official, Wolfgang Gardner, the Sheepdogs and Said the Whale, the Arkells, Dean Brody, Dragonette, Classified, Down with Webster, Maya Angelou, Adrian Grenier, Frank Warren, and Dan Savage. Through these diverse concerts and speakers, we were able to reach niche markets of students and increase the presence of our brand on campus and in our community. Some students were incredibly disengaged with USC prior to this year, and I'm confident that they are more comfortable with our services and events as a result of our diverse programming. And from a first-hand experience, speaking to friends who are disengaged, they already are. Additionally, through these concerts and events, we have solidified relationships with various corporate firms as well, such as Red Bull, Labatt, and Molson's, who provide sponsorship to our events and allow us to subsidize these costs. These programming opportunities have increased the respect and the community has for our events and increased the participation of our students in general. The increased amount of concerts we hosted this year brought up the point of wet dry programming. Approximately 5 years ago, the USC stopped providing these programming to students, which largely affected our first-year student demographic. This year, we have made strong strides forward in this area and have had 2 successful wet dry events. Although small events, this is a great way to start the progress of programming at Western. I have faith that next year this initiative will be pursued so that our events can be more inclusive and enjoyable for all our students. One of the proudest accomplishments that the USC does each year is hosting Canada's largest and most student-driven orientation program. This is filled with inclusive, safe, and accessible events for all first-year undergraduate students. This year, we took time to analyze elements of the program each step of the way and question the status quo. This year, we made fundamental changes that will have a positive long-term impact on the program and make it more inclusive and accessible for all students. Our focuses included accessibility and the inclusivity of the program. It honestly astounds me each year that over 16,000 students engage with the USC through our club system. With over 200 clubs, we have a comprehensive selection of cultural, academic, sports, and miscellaneous clubs. And I think Sir Lau Cultural Club is out in the atrium right now having their cultural day. This year, our focus was to tighten up the policies, create efficiencies in training, and cut the red tape in general. We developed a new method of training allowing club executives to be given detailed information specific to their individual position. Through our internal discussions, we identified that EventsNet needed to be revamped to allow students easier access to club event proposals. Today, I'm happy to announce that we work to ensure that the funding for EventsNet will be budgeted for next year in our capital plan. Therefore, will be overhauled in the near future. Last year, for the first time, an amazing event was started and had the very creative and original name of the Purple Fest. This year, we decided to vamp it up a lot and hosted in Talbot Bowl with the Sheepdogs and Said the Whale. We had numerous students come out and enjoy the event and stick around after the show to get some autographs. This is the first time we had the sheep. This is a really corny joke, but this is the first time we had sheep, dogs, and whales on the hill instead of geese. Sorry, I had to say that one. I would like now to move on to our advocacy and new initiatives that we provided to students this year. Something to keep in mind when running for a student political position at Western is the changing nature of priorities and issues on our campus. And I know Jeff Armour can attest to this one, but one day students could want a water park on Concrete Beach because of the high temperatures, so we'll go out and buy a sprinkler. And then the next day they're mad at us because it's World Water Day and I didn't look at the calendar. So that's how we prepared the USC to respond to students, and I have the utmost confidence that we can continue to do so into the future. Environmental initiatives were strong this year at the USC. We learned an incredible amount of information from meeting with Western's groundkeeping and recycling department, and this enabled us to provide e-waste bins on campus for a week. This reaffirms our stance on action and progressive movements. This year, we also took a step forward with locally grown produce with our farmers markets that happened in first term. These markets gave students a taste of organic produce, and Grocery Checker is willing to do this much more often as it benefits both the USC and them as well. In the past, students rarely saw the work that the USC does for them. When they did, it would be falsely attributed to the university, the city, or a third party. This year, we created a huge amounts of change, and through our improved communications methods, we told students where it came from. Through social media and council meetings, we heard that cell phone boosters and wireless boosters were issues on campus. I was tweeted at every day about this issue. We set up multiple meetings with administration to ensure that these issues were dealt with. Rogers, Bell, and TELUS all came on campus and audited the situation, ending with more service and more infrastructure in place to serve you better. Overall, we advocated for what students wanted, and I'm confident that we delivered this year. This year, unlike years before, we also took a strong stance against the decision of the university to increase a fee for a service called Access Copyright. In principle, we do not agree with the fee itself or the process that was undertaken to increase it. To date, we continue to advocate on behalf of all students that when decisions affecting the cost of education are made by the university, that we're at the table. Next up, I will talk to you a little bit about the final category. How did we get students out to all of our events and all of our activities this year? And that's one word, it's communication. This year's communications department took a very different approach than in the past. The USC has done vast amounts of programming, but there has been an inconsistency in the way that students are engaging with our events. This was mainly due to a lack of interest from students and a disengagement with the social media process, program, and information that we were providing them with. One of the biggest changes we embraced this year was the use of social media. Through consistent messaging and expanding the use of multiple platforms, including Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, we've expanded our outlets on engaging and representing our students. Everyone in this room should know how much I love Twitter, but the only one who seems to tweet more than me is either Jeff Pinlat, Val, or Elliot about the weather and what is at the wave for the soup of the day. And it's amazing to wake up every day and see that. Now you can follow us to see exactly what our soup of the day is, how much skin you need to cover or show when you get up, and what the USC has in store for you, the student, through our multitude of events and services. Throughout the year, we quintupled our followers and likes, giving us a better sphere of influence unlike any previous year of council. We've also expanded our policies to include the use of social media, what can be published on our website, and the use of our brand. And in the past, the USC has used outdated policies which did not govern the use of our brand and how we present ourselves in public. One of the exciting initiatives that was brought forth by this year's USC was our newly launched website. After months of work sifting through old documents and layout designs, we are proud to stand by our new site that will be the template of success for all future growth by synergy of promotions, informations, and engagement. Another way we engaged with our students this year was through the use of a newly formed USC Soft team. This team was challenged with directly engaging the student body through unique and different marketing strategies that encourage creativity and new ideas. We were able to push the boundaries of where the team could go and have successfully created a new standard to expect from a team. It's a team first and individual second approach to this USC Soft team. With an even more efficient team structure and a more structured build that really gives the team free rein to essentially go, we're excited to see where this team goes in the next year. Additionally, we have expanded our outreach to students through different avenues of our campus media. Not only has Big Purple Couch expanded in terms of programming and coverage, but they have also had the opportunity to interview and film Avicii, Maya Angelou, Adrian Grenier, The Arkells, Classified, Cardinal Official, and Wolfgang Gardner, just to say a few. We've also included a brand new social media outlet we're excited to bring into our umbrella of media groups, and that's Fuss on the Bus. This will give our senators as well as our council members an opportunity to communicate student concerns, news, and motions that impact our student body. This year's communication department was in charge of the fall and spring elections promotions, as you all know. While the fall by-election came and went without any issues, the spring election was a whole other story. On top of having two major referendum questions that council had given the USC to run an informational campaign on, we were also in charge of getting student engagement and switching any apathy into interest in this year's elections. Through a well-executed and precise marketing plan, we have reached our highest turnout yet in our 11th hour of the voting period. However, after that, we shortly ran into an issue that compromised our election system. A hacker, pretending to be Justin Bieber, infiltrated our system. The hacker disrupted the elections and caused the vote to be nulled. This caused us to be into an unprecedented territory, where we found ourselves saying, "Baby, baby, baby, oh." We came back after spring break and relaunched our elections, resulting in not only the highest voter turnout in years, but an even higher voter turnout than the hacked election. So thank you, Jay Beebs. We're excited to see how the future of communications continues to grow with the future development of technology integration, not only in the classroom, but also in our daily lives. We believe we've given the USC the tools to adapt and continue to grow with the new ways and concepts that the world around us communicates with one another. We'll be there as a front runner, trying out new things, and be willing to step out of the box, try new ways to stay relevant with our student body, something we strive to never shy away from. So there you have it. The USC has great momentum moving forward in a very positive way. I would liken it to Thomas the Tank Engine. We think we can, and therefore we will. We are still here fighting for you, serving for you, and ensuring that your voices are constantly heard in meaningful ways. I'll be the first to admit that we aren't perfect, and we may not have been able to touch every single Western student in a meaningful way, but we're sure as hell going to try. Whenever I have friends and family visit from various parts of Canada, they fail to grasp the essence of Western. We have something special at this institution, something that U of T and Queens definitely don't have. We are a community that stands together in the face of adversity when we are wronged. We are a community that cares about one another. We are a community that will stand up for what we believe in. Sometimes this community wears Canada Goose, and sometimes this community wears Ugg boots. But the one thing this community will always wear is generosity and respect, and that's right on their sleeve. I stand before you humbled and honored to say that the State of the University Students' Council in the year of 2011 to 2012 is stronger than ever before. Today, the university. Tomorrow, the world. Thank you for listening to our State of the USC, and now welcome any questions you may have about our offshore Cayman accounts. Thank you. If there's any questions, all the executives here to answer them. Anything from the year, from, I don't know, spoke pricing to the Mustang Lounge, anything you guys want to ask us, we're here for you, so let us know.